y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. The topic that I want to talk about today is another requested topic. It's also a topic that I planned on talking about anyway, that I already had in my notes. So I kind of want to combine the topic that was requested and also the topic that I wanted to talk about as well, which is trauma bonding friendships, and how detrimental and how stifling they can be for your individual feminine journey, your individual journey as a Black woman or as a woman in general. And so I want to combine that conversation with a conversation about, you know, the pushback we get as divested Black women or just as Black women who is on their feminine journey, the pushback we get from that. That pushback can be from various places. Yes, it can be from the internet, random comments and things like that. But a lot of the times the most pushback we get and the most detrimental pushback we get is the pushback we get from people directly in our lives, whether it's family members, whether it's friends, whether it's people, women who may have good intentions, but they just don't quite understand why we in this sector of Black women, why we move the way we move, and why we, you know, are kind of trying to undo the socialization and the brainwashing that we've been, you know, accustomed to. I'm sure we all have experienced it at one point or another where, you know, you are on this journey, you know, your friends or family members or whoever, sometimes it can be your own parent. They take a huge issue with you leveling up as an individual. And I think one of the first things we should understand is to keep it to yourself. Keep your level up journey to yourself. Your new life, your new demeanor, your new fashion, the way you carry yourself will already speak volumes enough. It's not something that you need to vocalize. It's not something that you need to discuss because everybody is not willing to do it. Everybody don't have the mindset. Everybody don't have the patience or the work ethic to even try to better themselves. So it's best to keep all negative energy away by kind of keeping it to yourself. If someone admires, notice your glow up, and want to know what you did, you can hint at it, see how they take the information. But a lot of the times when women do that, it's not even a lot of times malicious, but sometimes when you begin to elevate, people feel like you're leaving them behind. Unfortunately, on a journey like this, especially in the Black community, where it's a lot of muling going on, where it's a lot of low self-esteem and lack of confidence going on, like, it's really important for you to, as an individual, to protect your journey and to be careful about letting naysayers have a say-so in what you choose to do with your life. At the end of the day, it's your journey and yours alone, and people will, you know, see that you're doing better for yourself, see that you're leveling up, and they'll be, you know, dancing along the lines of in between jealousy and envy into actually being proud. And sometimes it can be conflicting, it's in my opinion. And sometimes, you know, people don't always mean bad, but they can like start to put self-doubt, put negative, why? It's no need for you to do that. You don't have to do that, all that extra work. I don't have time to put on makeup. I don't have time to dress cute. That's fine. If you want to go out and look raggedy, that's fine. You do you. But if I get up an hour early to take time to put on makeup, to put on a nice outfit, then you can stand beside me with your sweatpants on and your bonnet, and we can look like total opposites. So yes, we get a lot of pushback when you're leveling up, you know. And for me, I really, like, with my weight loss journey, I am 43 pounds down and I'm so proud of myself. And so it's things like that I don't mind sharing. Literally everybody wants to lose weight, so people won't say too much about that. But when you start dressing up, when you start putting on makeup every day, when you really start separating yourself from what's normal in the Black community, that's when it becomes a problem, because people sometimes read that as you think you're better than them, or as if you are better than them, especially if your friends don't level up and you're getting a lot of attention. You know, people are nicer to you, people are more respectful, they don't mind helping you, all of these different things. And so mammies and pick-meshas and everybody will have something to say about it, but you can eliminate that by keeping it to yourself. And that ties in with trauma bonding friendships, because I remember when I hinted to a couple of my friends that I was really no longer interested in dating black men. When I say their neck turned like they were in The Exorcist, like it's so shocking that black women have divested from black men and are kind of looking for something different. And I'm like, okay, so now I know I'm not gonna say anything to you about it. It's already important enough not to have people in your relationships, but a lot of the times, we as women, we like to vent, we like to talk and complain or whatever. Everyone likes to have like-minded individuals around them. But at some point, only being around people who are on your level or who are lower than your level, if you're trying to level up, is gonna stifle your growth. One of two things is gonna happen. Either you're gonna pull them up with you or they're gonna pull you down. And I'm gonna tell you like this, in the black community, we as black women it's habitual for us to not be as feminine, not because of the conditioning. So it's gonna be a lot easier for them to pull you down than for you to pull them up. When you're in the early stages of leveling up and you know you're still in that place where you're maybe not doing your makeup every single day, maybe not dressing up every single time you go out. Even I'm guilty of that sometimes. When you're in a vulnerable place, and I think that's personally, I'm not in a vulnerable place with that. If my friend, like today, I went out with one of my friends, we went out shopping, you know, here in North Carolina, some stores began to open up. She came out in like ripped up Bermuda shorts and a t-shirt, and I had on a dress and a kimono and cute sandals and everything. So I don't have a problem with that. She don't have a problem with it. So it's different. So, you know, it doesn't always mean you don't have to stay. You have to break up with your friends. You're still in the beginning stages and you are still influenced. If you're still comfortable going out in, you know, regular old clothes, sweatpants, going out without your hair done, going out without makeup. If you are in that place where it's still easy for you to fall back into old habits, you may want to kind of back away from hanging around certain people, and that can be very tough. And as I was saying before, we do as women like to vent. We love to talk about our issues with our girlfriends, and that is okay. There is always a time and place for that. But in my opinion, you just have to be careful that you don't allow that to stifle your growth. Because when you're in a room full of women, so like the Bible verse say, if two or three will be gathered together, basically God will hear your prayer, because you're radiating on that frequency together. Your energies are like-minded. So in that same train of thought, if you and your girlfriends are having a girls' night and all of y'all are complaining about this, complaining about that, that's the level you're on. And that's the level you're gonna continue to be on. Unless you really have mastered the craft of complaining for an hour and then never talking about it again for X amount of time. Unless you really master that balance, for most of us, we should not surround ourselves by too many like-minded people and that's negative, and by too much trauma bonding. We attract the energy that we put out. So if you put out an energy of I'm dealing with dusties, I've been dealing with dusties, and my friends deal with dusties, we all got the same complaints. If that's something that you're used to doing, how are you going to draw in higher level friends, how are you gonna draw in high caliber, high quality men? You're not. Because you and your friends, you and your homegirls, you and your cousins or your family member, you guys are radiating on a similar frequency that's gonna keep you in that space. And that's not what we want when we're trying to self-improve. I understand that it feels good to be around like-minded people, and there is a time and place for that. You know, I understand that we want to be around people who understand what we're going through. But limit that. Find friends that are leveled up. I'm working on that too. I love my friends, even the ones that's not leveled up. You know, and there's a time and place. I don't necessarily believe that you should cut off all of your friends, but what's gonna happen is naturally, as you get deeper and deeper into your level up to where it's, you know, an automatic thing for you to wear makeup, an automatic thing for you to dress up, you're gonna stop wanting to be around certain friends. You're gonna naturally drift apart. Honestly, it's the best way to do it, where there's no animosity, there's no friendship. So yes, you're always gonna have mammies, you're always gonna have pick-meshas. A lot of us were once them. You're always gonna have them kind of trying to be a roadblock, but it's up to you to not allow them to do it. We all want to bond with other women. We all want to have that connection and that understanding, but limit it. Put a cap on it. Me in particular, I'm a Virgo, meaning I'm a problem solver. If someone comes to me, if my friend or whoever comes to me with a problem, my natural reaction is to find a solution. Okay, you vented, you said what was wrong, so what are you gonna do about it? I learned a long time ago, back in college, to mind my business and not try to solve people's problems. Because a lot of the time, people don't wanna solve their problems. And when they do, when they're really ready, they'll do it themselves. And so I learned a long time ago to stop exerting my energy into trying to improve other people's lives, because frankly I have enough to improve in my own life. And so that's something important. If you're on the receiving end, you know, or if you're on the giving end, like, we have to be careful not to pour into our friends. Yes, we talk about not pouring into the Black community, but sometimes you can't even pour into your friends, into other Black women, because it starts to drain you. You'll see, I just recently had a comment where a Black lady was in my comment saying, oh, well, maybe Black women just don't want to date outside of their race, and women like you are trying to listen. Women like me are trying to let Black women know that they have options, and that you don't have to sit around waiting for a group of men who has made it clear that they don't value you. So there's always going to be pick-meshas and going to be mammies that's trying to derail the progress that a lot of us are making. But like I told her, the train is not stopping. This train is continuing on, because we have a lot of work to do, and a lot of people, a lot of Black women are gonna start listening to these messages that different YouTubers, and because we're trying to improve our image, we're trying to improve ourselves. So yes, there will always be naysayers. There will always be people that will try to hinder your progress because it makes them feel less than. But it's up to you to not let that happen. So that is all that I have on this topic for today. I have so many new things I have in store, and thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, keep the conversation going, and I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are in the world.